put in the cup really encouraged me to join the school. Not until I got to learn about Isaac at the Pro Plus. Then I came with some of my friends, so we are now doing the course.
I think most female feel like being a barista is more of a male job, or being a farmer is a male thing, or being a quality controller. Yet they don't know that there are other perfect people that we are looking at. So we want to bring this gender equality into the coffee business. I would thank this the International Women Coffee Alliance. It has really done a very good job to encourage women into the coffee business.
The brew ratio is
very important.
The most important. Brew ratio now most people may not understand. It is the ratio of the coffee powder to water, and the yield. Water in this article will bring us into the yield. If I put 10 grams of coffee into my portafilter, how much of it am I exactly? So if you don't master the brew ratio,
then being eager to learn, for everyone who is out there, with the young men, every young man out there, you need to be eager to learn, because there are many opportunities there. I don't know, I've met Emma today, I don't know where we shall meet any other time. I will meet this person, so always be humble and be eager to learn. And then about coffee, I've learned, like I think I've learned that always take everything in the steps. Because if I had started with the basics, I wouldn't be back here now.
Because I knew maybe probably big hotels serve coffee. So to my dismay is that I introduced myself as a barista, and everybody was like, "What's a barista?" So I said, a barista is a specialist that makes coffee, a person who makes coffee for people to, coffee like, cappuccino, different kinds of, coffees, and people were like very green. I said, this is a big hotel. I expected to find here a coffee machine, and nobody knows about it. So it's, I think, incumbent of us to really transform this entire community, the entire country, to coffee, to learn about coffee, and also to give them the advantages of coffee, teach them about coffee, and then later on they maybe consume it, rather than just selling it.
Welcome back to the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television. My name is Emmanuel Ateng, and before we went for the break, we're talking to Owen Singura about the different coffee diseases that face coffee. We're talking about what happens during the coffee growing process. And coming back to the show right now, Owen, welcome back to the show. I know we started the show on a coffee myth that, coffee apparently was used to make bullets.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And I think now, as a farmer or as someone who's out there, it is a myth. We have debunked that one for now, yeah. And we're talking about basically the different kind of diseases that affect, coffee, and also how to diagnose them, and also what to do, for the farmers who are out there when your crop gets diseases, what you can do. And one of the things you said is that we should seek professional help. And, after getting that professional help, that opens up, other avenues to what you can do for your crop. Coming back to the show, I remember you can catch us on our social media pages, HTV1 on our Twitter, on our YouTube, our House of Talent Uganda live stream, and also on Facebook at House of Talent Uganda. Make sure to watch the show, spread it far and wide to the farmers out there, to the baristas, to the roasters, whoever is involved in the coffee chain and the coffee process, because we need this knowledge if we are to make Ugandan coffee be at par with Ethiopian coffee. As I read in the Coffee Act, we are trying to get to where Ethiopia is, and I believe that it's a very good thing. We're talking earlier, and you told me that you went to Israel, to do your masters. Okay. First question is, do they have a coffee culture in Israel like we do in Uganda?
Yeah, they do. They are big time coffee drinkers, and different ways. There's the Turkish coffee. There's Arab coffee, that in the pot, and then you swirl it in the sun. It gets ready. You pour, and they have actually better taste of coffee than us. Yet they don't grow. I've met 50-year-olds who have never seen a coffee tree. But they take a lot of coffee. They take coffee in the morning, coffee in the afternoon. I know a guy who takes coffee and cigarette as breakfast. But the irony is, we who grow don't take.
Yeah, I think that's a big irony. So what are some of those differences you saw between the coffee culture in Israel and that in Uganda? I know you've already talked about one. We grow it, we don't take it. They don't grow it, yet they take it more than us. Okay, so what are some more of those differences that you experienced when it comes to that coffee culture in these two places? Different areas of the world, actually.
Their taste is growing towards specialty. There are specialty cafes coming up. Then the people, when they go to buy, they don't go for instant coffee. And for us, when we go in the supermarket, even the richer ones, we buy instant coffee. But actually, just let me take you a little off. Instant coffee is like a sausage. The best meat is not used in making sausage. The best meat is reserved for steak. The mediocre meat and of course the red meat is what they use in rolling for sausage, because you'll not see the quality unless you've made custom made sausage. The same thing with instant coffee. The good thing with coffee, they don't throw anything apart from the extraneous matter, stones and plastics, if they are there. The undergrades, the broken beans, the rotten beans are the ones they reserve for instant coffee, because when you get a tin of the instant coffee, you will not know that this was from screen 18. So the screen 18 and 15 reserve it for cafes and specialty coffee and fine coffee, because someone is seeing what they are buying. The aroma is there. The rest, the irony is, when it comes here, instant coffee is more expensive than specialty and fine coffee. Even the educated people, the exposed ones, they don't. It's the river. In Israel, people are aiming for, top quality. And they actually imported some coffee from Africa and South America. They repackage it, create private labels, and they earn a lot of money from it. Why not us do it?
It's interesting that there's this westernization effect. Okay, the way they have marketed instant coffee, it feels like when it comes down to Africa, me, the person who's taking instant coffee, is perceived as the one who has money or class, for that matter. Yet, if you went into a deeper understanding, you know, the person who's actually taking the real coffee could be considered as the person with more class in this matter. But
I won't say that people are not exposed, guys have traveled, but it's still gross ignorance.
Yeah.
But still, we can do the instant coffee from our good coffee. I remember it's Kausheng, I would say, why not use good coffee to make instant coffee, because it will be cheaper here. We can still explore that avenue as we are graduating people from instant to brewed coffee.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was volunteering with UCDA in, you know, increasing local coffee consumption campaign, we used to hit the market and brew the coffee, but someone will tell you, why is this coffee rough? Why is this coarse? We want the smooth one.
Yeah.
I tell you, no, the smooth one is not good. This coffee is rough for a reason. Otherwise, we could have made it finer.
Yeah.
But the reason is, the rougher the coffee, the better the brew. Not very rough, but of course you have to, you know, hit the standard.
Yeah.
Again, this is scientific, that rough coffee has a lower surface area to volume ratio.
Yeah.
That means it will retain the aroma very fast. I want people to do an experiment. You know, open a tin of instant coffee. I don't want to mention the major brand. Open it, and also open the tin of your brewing grade coffee, the rough one, what Ugandans call the rough one. Leave it open for 1 week. After 1 week, the best thing the instant coffee will be able to do is turn water to brown. But with this brewing grade coffee, there will still be the aroma, because the surface area is low. That means it still keeps the, you know, the fineness in it. Yeah. The instant coffee, everything will go. There's no kawo. So that's something we want to, you know, our Ugandans learn. But we understand. Another challenge is people don't know how to brew coffee.
Yeah.
If they knew, maybe they would have tried it. So I genuinely don't blame them.
Yeah.
Brewing coffee, Ugandans, they want to brew coffee like tea. But actually, we also don't know how to brew good tea.
Tea, true.
Get coffee, get water, boiled water, add coffee, then stir immediately. Then the coffee will float. Then we say, ha! Oh, Malava, Ugandan products. They were in a class, see, all the coffee is floating. That's not how it should be. The rule of brewing, if you're brewing from a cup, it's coffee first, water.
Yeah.
Back in the day, in high school, when you used to do chemistry, they will tell you, do not add water to acid, because it's going to burst and kill you. Yeah. So it has to be the other way around. Yeah. You know, add acid to water, especially if it's concentrated. Yeah. It's the standard rule in the lab and in my profession. Yeah. So the same thing, if you want to brew home brewing of our Ugandan coffee, the rough one, as you call it, boil water, make sure it boils, put coffee first in the cup, then add the water. Then wait for at least 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. The coffee itself will go down. You won't need to, you know, do this drinking when you're spitting sweet.
Yeah. I think the first experience people have with coffee, like we're talking earlier, there is this, I also don't want to mention the brand, but we have coffee for 100 shillings. You know? So it's the same process. Get the coffee for 100 shillings, like you get tea leaves, pour it in a cup, and you know, we have a show on our TV station called the Creative Industry Talk. Basically talks about creativity in Uganda, and one of the shows will talk about Bubu, you know, by Uganda. Okay, and Ugandan products are seen, however good a Ugandan product is, in the eyes of the people, it's always going to be mediocre. Okay, we always say, man, these things are made in Uganda. Okay, so I think the same could be applied to the coffee in Uganda. How can we change people's perspective? Because I believe that if I say put a coffee from Uganda, very good coffee, and I brought another, let's say from the States, someone will obviously run towards the one of the States without even analyzing which one could be better. Just that the fact that this is made in Uganda. How can we change the perspective, okay, of Ugandans to actually start supporting Ugandan products, you know, in reference to the coffee industry?
So that's a good one. Actually, it's not only Ugandans struggling with that. Many countries also, the Israelis think foreign is best. Yet for us, we look up to Israelis. So it's a common thing amongst citizens of different countries. You think foreign is good because it has come all the way to here, you know, champagne and all that stuff. Yeah. So, so one thing is the Ugandan people also have to imitate the standards of the competitors.
Yeah.
I look at coffee brands. You reach the supermarket, you look at how we are branding Ugandan coffee, and I will assure you that 90% of them are not going to cross the border to even Kenya. We have that cliche packaging of valve packs. It's standard, yes, we understand. It's standard for coffee, but you all having the same thing.
Yeah.
When I was at university, at the Chamberlain University Coffee Association, I and Michael and Herman and the members, we created a brand, but also used the same valve packaging. It's something we did at undergraduate, but you find someone has invested 1 billion, but still packaging in 1 million, 1 million kind of packaging.
Yeah.
We need to imitate excellence if we can't make excellent products, if we can't make excellent packaging. Get our coffee, package it like they do. I usually give an example of, you've seen how the Vietnamese pack their coffee, or the Thailand pack black ivory coffee. Yeah. This is not expensive packaging, but you just have to have the patience of understanding packaging and branding. Let me give you an example. We used to do the packaging, valve packs, put a sticker. Yeah. Take it to the supermarket. The supermarket will tell you, we are not paying you until we sell. I used to be mad. You know, Herman was our marketing manager. We used to be mad that they are not paying us. They're actually surviving on us. But in actual sense, they were taking our coffees, adding it down the shelf, you know, with other many brands of the same packaging. Then they put the foreign brands at the corner where there's maximum attention. And the foreign brands, of course, they are paying cash upfront. For us, first sell and then pay you. In the end, the coffee gets stale. Now, when a consumer comes to the supermarket, and I know many guys who don't take supermarket coffee, is that you go to the supermarket, you're buying coffee that has spent 3 months, 6 months. It is stale. Because of the packaging, and also the grocery managers have put them down in the Kayola. So if you have to attain the boo-boo, if you have to boost coffee consumption and people support our brands, we need to do top-notch packaging, world-class packaging. I don't want to talk about what we presented at the World Coffee Expo. To be sure no one is going to buy it, or no one will even take it for free. Because it is so cliche. This is packaging of 30 years ago. But the good news is that there are few Ugandans who are aiming for excellence, looking for that, you know, niche packaging, and they are getting markets in Europe and North America. We can do the same. That's how we're going to compete with, you know, Brazil and Vietnam.
Well, that's an interesting thing, because I've actually been to the supermarket, and exactly what you say, the Ugandan coffees are thrown somewhere down there. You know, I have a friend who does her own coffee, and she complains about the same thing. By the time you get paid for your coffee, it's stale, and you know, if I buy a stale coffee, I'm not going back to buy the same brand again. So basically, I'm on the losing side. Okay, and the foreigners are getting more and more out of us, and even that money that they're getting is not really repatriated back into the country.
It's not your money.
It's not our money. So all of us are losing at the end of the day, and it's something that we need to really, you know, do to improve the coffee industry. I know one of your backgrounds is research in coffee, and we're talking earlier, and you said, you know, in coffee research, to come up with, you know, a type of coffee takes you 10 to 15 years. Okay. And to the normal person, they think, now how are we going to wait 10 to 15 years, you know, for you to come up with a different kind of coffee? Is there one that you have come up with? Is there one that you are currently working on? And if so, could you give us some more, you know, information about it?
Oh, that's a nice one. to an ordinary person, they cannot imagine that the coffee they are growing, someone sat a decade and more to work on it.
Yeah.
Towards the late 90s and the early 2000s, there was coffee wilt disease. It's really ravaged and destroyed almost over 50% of the Robusta coffee.
Yeah.
Now, Narrow had to sit because, you know, every problem in agriculture, the eyes are on Narrow. They had to sit and try to create solutions. And one of the solutions, coffee wilt disease is a very tricky one. I told you, you will spray and you won't control it.
Yeah.
So they had to come up with varieties that are resistant to the disease. And from that time, during the early 2000s and up to now, they have released 10 varieties. 10 coffee varieties that are resistant to wilt disease, that is KR1 to KR10.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you know, KR10. But it's not that you sit and work on one. I'm not a coffee breeder, but I've worked with coffee breeders. It's not that they sit and work on one, release it. They, you know, work in tandem.
Yeah.
Because these varieties, upper much, they are all coffee wilt resistant. They have different attributes.
Yeah.
And then they perform well, you know, in different regions, different agronomic conditions, different
climates.
flavors.
Yeah.
Another thing is that after researchers have developed the variety, they have to take it to UCDA for scoring. Like, because it doesn't help when you make a good coffee variety, high yielding, big, and it doesn't taste well.
Yeah.
So now that's how UCDA comes in. They have to assess the cup quality.
Yeah.
And it's a back and forth, you know, years and years and years and years, and they say, now, this is good.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to spend 10 years on a loser product.
True.
You're wasting taxpayers' money, you're wasting your time. So the 10 varieties, in actual sense, it should be that KR7 is better than, KR10 is better than KR7. You know, theoretically, that's how it should be. But sometimes you find that KR10 has, KR7 has better attributes than KR10. The whole point is give farmers a wide range of choices to work with.
Yeah.
You know, always assess. And I actually recommend farmers, every farmer should be a researcher on their field. Use your own understanding, do your own assessment. Narrow may not reach anywhere, nuts may not reach everywhere, UCDA may not reach everywhere, like you said.
Yeah.
But farmers have to be their own researchers. Like, compare, see, this one does well, this one doesn't do well, or this one is heavier, this one is lighter, this one matures faster.
Yeah.
But why did we go the cloning way? No, the breeders realized, okay, let me go back to the biology of coffee.
Okay.
Two coffee species, Robusta and Arabica. The difference, one of the differences that Arabica is self-pollinating. By the time an Arabica flower opens, it has, you know, pollinated itself, or to pollinate itself shortly. Robusta is cross-pollinating. Now, you remember in our basic biology and science, cross-pollination is moving anthers from here and pollen from here to the stigma of the other. So you are creating variability. Like man and woman, you create a child who has characteristics from both. Now, Robusta being cross-pollinating, the fruits are going to be different from either of the parents.
Yeah.
But now you want to keep the disease-resistant top-notch. So you have to clone. So the nursery operators, the Narrow and UCD have mother gardens where they pick clones so that you have the same. If it is KR7, you're going to produce seedlings that are strictly KR7. Because even if, you know, KR7 is pollinated by another variety, you're going to create L8 seeds.
Yeah.
L8 seeds also work, but the resistance of L8 seeds to coffee wilt disease is not as high as a clone, because with clones you have true to time. Imagine they cloned you, Emma. You're going to have a kid who is going to be like you 100%.
True.
Maybe you're resistant to COVID. Just think. So we shall clone you and make many Emmas. That's by the way. But if you married someone or if you marry someone, you're going to have a kid who is looking at like mom or like you, or having combined traits.
Yeah.
So the elite seeds work, but their resistance is not as strong as if they were clones. Now, most farmers go for elites.
Yeah.
Because elites are cheaper. Just get this seeds, coffee seeds, plant them, they germinate, you sell. Clones, you have to have a mother garden, you have to be certified by ECD to operate a commercial nursery, you have to clone.
Yeah.
But the upside of it is that the cloned varieties are going to mature faster, and they have the resistance to the wilt disease, and they are true to type.
Yeah.
If you like KR7, you're going to have KR7. If it's 10, you're going to have KR10. Maybe you've gotten an importer or a client who likes KR7 or likes KR8.
Yeah.
So it means you're going to give them, you're controlling your quality. That's quality assurance. Done. But your coffee is going to taste the same today, next year, and the other year for 10 years.
Yeah. Interesting. I like how you say that, most farmers actually go and buy the elite because they are cheap.
Yeah,
which is a Ugandan problem.
So Uganda, we want to take shortcuts.
Yeah.
But in farming, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work in farming. We're coming towards the end of the show, and we have discussed a lot of things. But as we draw towards the end, okay, we were discussing earlier about how we have different players in this coffee chain, okay? And right now the focus is mainly on the baristas, okay? And on this show we have had a lot of baristas, and I believe that most of them actually, because a barista course is 1 month, 2 months, if you want to 3 months at the most, and most of them don't have the kind of knowledge like you are talking about right now. Most of them don't know what happens in the farm apart from the theory they are given in class. Okay, so as we come to the end of the show, what word do you have for baristas out there? Because like we said earlier, you won't be a barista at 70. Okay, what can these baristas do to make themselves more relevant in the coffee chain and the coffee process, and also more relevant for their lives going ahead?
Okay. I usually meet baristas and I'll tell them you're going to be active for 10 years maximum. If you stretch it, 20 years. But you can, graduate yourself. First, you've learned barista, basic barista, add more skills, but also advance to maybe quality control. Because if you do R or Q grading, then you can get a job in a private farm or a coffee exporting or a coffee processing farm. That's 1+. Another thing, if you're a barista who has a background in agriculture, you can work backwards, switching back to your profession. It's going to be good if you applied for a job, let's say quality control, and you're a barista, you have studied R or Q, and you also know some coffee agronomy. Definitely they will take you. Also, you're going to be better than someone who has studied quality control but is not a barista, because every employee wants a bigger package of you at the same price. So the thing is, if you're a barista, you're 40 years, you've overstretched to maybe 40, 45, at least learn Q or R. UCD has free, these are free courses. I'm not speaking for UCD, but they are free. R and Q grading, they are free. You stand a chance to get a job in the coffee industry, in growing or processing farm. But another thing, we have some people we are with who have a background in agriculture or biotechnology. I know some who have switched back to research, and again they stand a higher chance, because if I applied for a job with the counterpart who is just an agriculture expert, but I'm also a barista expert, I know some basic of quality control, then I stand higher chances. And I'm going to get a job. I know guys who have done that. Done barista, then switched back to research. And they're doing amazing things. Because also the researchers don't know how good coffee is. They are preparing it, but then they don't know that you can make a mocha, latte, and you can make all these variations.
Yeah.
It's also helping the research industry. When I was, still in coffee research as an intern, our director by then banished instant coffee. And he was a new director. He was like, guys, we are a coffee research institute. Why are we taking instant coffee? Like, come on, guys. And not just instant coffee, imported instant coffee.
Yeah.
Dude, you people should be taking the best coffee because you make it.
Yeah.
You've earned it. Now, they have an espresso machine, they brew, they're enjoying.
Yeah.
You see? But to bring that vibe, it takes someone who understands coffee beyond the bean to, bring that vibe. Now they're happy people. They were like, man, I didn't know that my variety tastes this good.
Yeah.
Because most probably the guy has made the variety and has not been drinking it.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe. And guys who are changing, the research world also.
Yeah.
They are baristas.
Yeah.
They have gone back to research.
Yeah.
The baristas, but they have gone into, because even private companies want researchers. They want agronomists.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, if you have gone into the coffee industry, you may not understand everything, but try to understand the basics of coffee from the seedling beyond the bean.
Yeah.
Even the market metrics.
Yeah.
Especially the market metrics.
Yeah.
It's important to understand the
Yeah.
market dynamics. The biggest thing in the market dynamics right now, Brazil was hit bad by hailstorms and frost. It's a plus to us.
It gives us an opportunity
it's an opportunity for us.
slide in there somewhere.
The smart guy, when Brazil was hit by frost, should have bought more coffee.
Yeah.
Because actually there's a coffee crisis. It's
Yeah.
projected that 3 years from now there's going to be a coffee crisis.
Yeah.
If you can buy coffee, buy it as much as you can because it's going to be high.
Yeah.
Sorry for the Brazilians.
But kind of good for us.
Yeah.
Well, Owen, we've come to the end of the show, but I believe that all the knowledge that you have shared in just this little span of time has really helped someone out there. Someone, the barista, the farmer. And I believe that this show should actually have a part 2 because
we can take it to the farm. Actually, I like it more in the farm.
Yeah, we can actually take it to the farm, which would be better. But thank you for giving us your time. I hope that next time we'll be at the farm and we'll get to know more about coffee. And this show basically gives you all that information. We want to thank you for staying with us this whole time, and we'll have another guest next weekend, or Owen will be back, or we'll be at the farm. You never know. Yeah, but thank you for being with us. This has been the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television. Till next time, get a good cup of coffee, and remember, Ugandan coffee is actually the best coffee out there. Have a blessed day.